Welcome back. All right, so first off, yes, the audio will get better as this room gets filled up. That's kind of how it works. If I was doing the videos in the old house, it sounded about the same. So, Boston, Carolina. Let's get into game one, shall we? It was Ullmark versus Ronta, the first playoff start for both. The first time that's happened in the National Hockey League, I believe they said in 40 years. So, a lot of pressure on both goaltenders, really. Early DeBrusque chances held. Slavin had a screenshot that was tipped wide. There were rushes for both teams, but they were kept to the outside early there. First penalty is Brady Shea. That's a delay of game. So that's the first penalty of this year's playoffs. So then there's a shorthanded rush for Aho that was saved. That deflects out. Marchand had a chance that was blocked. Power play is killed off by Carolina. Their penalty kill is fantastic. Combine that with the fact that Boston's power play has been struggling is an understatement, and you can see how special teams in this series should and likely will skew towards Carolina. So if the Bruins are going to win this series, they have to do it 5-on-5. So after that, Smith nearly scores, and Craig Smith nearly scores, and Brendan Smith is the one that saves it. So it was Smith versus Smith on that one, and Smith won, which is unusual because you would have thought Smith would have won, but you'd be wrong. Smith won instead. The shots are 9-1 for the Bruins at 5.5 minutes. They looked fantastic out of the gate, and then you could see the momentum starting to shift. Kotkaniemi steals one and rushes, but the chance was defended by the Bruins. Aho then had a rush chance that was denied. Haula then had a chance that was gloved and held. The Bruins press with 9 minutes left, but they're kept to the outside again by Carolina. The game settled in. DeBrusque can't bury one. Ronta holds on. Kane's net crash. They believed that there was a goal, but the referee said no, that it was goalie interference. Rod Brindamore was not happy. He did not challenge. Didn't challenge it. He just wasn't happy with the call. So that way we can all just be upset with it or agree with it or whatever, and it doesn't matter because they never reviewed it. So there's press by the Canes that draws a power play. The Bruins don't let them set up, and they were shot blocking. They cleared it out. They killed that off. The Canes press. They draw another power play with 3:18 left. D'Angelo has a shot that's saved and held. Good cycle in the second minute of the power play. In the final seconds, there's a save by Ullmark. It's killed off. Domi then fires wide on a final minute rush. But after the first period, it's scoreless. So we go to the second period. Early Canes chance is held. Pesce has a chance that deflects out. Domi has a rush chance that's deflected out as well. Canes with some momentum at this point. Pasternak can't bury one in close. Haula has a chance kicked aside. The Canes then press at 5 minutes. Teuvo Teravainen is denied from the slot. Near miss high by Slavin. Haula had a rush chance that was saved. The Bruins get a power play. Good Canes penalty kill. Not giving easy entries for the Boston Bruins. Just standing them up at the blue line and keeping them to the outside. Aho has a shorthanded rush that finishes the kill. Clifton had a shot that was held through a screen. The Canes then pressed with 6.5 minutes left. Nosek was denied in close as the fourth line presses. However, Carolina gets on the board. It is Jarvis in his first NHL playoff game. He gets a goal from Slavin and Cole at 16:28. The Bruins would try to answer, but the Canes press with 1 minute and 45 seconds left, and they score. It's Niederreiter from D'Angelo and Natchez at 18:38. So it's 2-0 after 2. And that was when I put Canes lead 1-0. The Canes do not cough up 2-goal leads. And in game one of the playoffs, and against a team that they really, really want to beat like Boston, I couldn't see them giving up a 2-goal lead in the third. So third period, the Bruins press at 2.5 minutes, and they do score. Taylor Hall makes it a 1-goal game from Haula and McAvoy at 2:53. And every time Haula touches the puck, Canes fans let him know he's still not appreciated in Canes country. So the Canes press at 5 minutes. Bruins shot block. Pasternak fires one wide. Ronta covers to stop the Bruins pressure. And then at 7:02, Teravainen, he scores on a 2-on-1 rush from Trocheck, and he wired it top shelf. No chance for Ullmark there. The funny thing is, this point is 3 goals for Carolina, and the jinx was the announcers saying that both goaltenders playing extremely well, and I thought, now we're going to get some goals, because he just said both goalies in their playoff debuts are playing very, very well. So we have a Bruins press that draws a power play at 10 minutes, but there's an aggressive Canes penalty kill, and that's exactly at 10 minutes. Aggressive Canes penalty kill, no shots allowed. So that really took the wind out of the sails of the Boston Bruins if they were looking at the idea of a comeback. Ronta holds the fort as the Bruins tried to make it 3-2. Canes have a 2-on-1. Nino Niederreiter fires that one wide, so he just misses his second goal of the game. Smith has a rush chance that's saved. That would be Craig Smith on that one. So it's weird because when I'm writing all this down, there are times where I forget there's two Smiths. Can happen. And in this case, I know that was a Craig Smith rush. Things get pushy with 4:50 left. Nothing comes out of that. Aho has a rush chance. That net feed is blocked. And then Trocheck makes it 4-1. He scores from Domi and Pesce at 16:59. That one winning off Olmark's mask. So it's a creative shot that ends up getting that goal for Carolina to make it 4-1. The Bruins pull the goalie as soon as they won that faceoff. So Bergeron wins the faceoff and Olmark's right off to the bench. Exactly a minute after making it 4-1, Carolina makes it 5-1. It is Svechnikov into the empty net from Aho and Jarvis. And you get a lot of towel waving, the crowd really into that tonight. And things get kind of punchy with 6.1 seconds left. It's as I've always said, if Boston's out there doing their shift disturbing, I always am careful to make sure that I enunciate shift, then you're looking at a game where they're losing. And that's what we saw tonight, was the Boston Bruins. Once that second period rolled around and once Carolina really got their game going, Boston just didn't have it. And when they did, Ronta played really well. So your final score is 5-1 for Carolina. As I said, they lead the series 1-0. Your three stars are Ronta, Trocheck, and Niederreiter. The shots 14-10 Boston in the first, 11-9 Boston in the second, and 11-6 Boston in the third. Final shots are 36-25 for Boston. Power plays, both teams go 0 for 3. So again, special teams could end up being important in this series. We saw other games tonight where there were a lot more power plays. So if that were to become the case in this series in Game 2 and beyond, we'll see. Your hits, there was a lot. 48-42 in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes. Olmark saves 20 out of 24. I don't think that tells you he played well. Ronta saves 35 out of 36. So for Carolina, they take advantage of home ice. And this is what it's there for. It's there for your game one, so you can set the tone at home. It is there so that you can do that in both games. So for Carolina, in game two, they're going to try to assert themselves and get that second win. And I really think that a lot of what's going on with this series and also with the regular season meetings, I think Carolina looks at Boston as an opportunity to take care of their past demons. And while there are other teams that are nemesis to one another, it feels like for Carolina it's been Boston over the last half decade, and they really want it. So for Boston, they've got to bounce back. They have to find a way to break through that penalty kill. Good luck. It was the best penalty kill in the league this year. Ended up at 88%. They mentioned that about 56 times during this game. And they have to find a way to get goals and figure this out, because Freddie Anderson wasn't in net. Ronta was fantastic. So I know I saw some comments like, well, clearly Boston's going to win the series because they don't have Anderson. This is not Anderson was very good for Carolina. Anderson was not the reason that Carolina ends up with that ridiculous record this year and they win their division. He's part of the picture, but Carolina is a team that adjusts and they have a lot of depth, and I think we saw that tonight. So let me know your thoughts regarding this game in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.